Welcome. Welcome in or welcome back if you are a returning subscriber. This is a August reading for the sign of True Sky Aquarius. So welcome. It doesn't have to be your sun sign. It can be, any other significant placement in Aquarius. Whether that's your rising or your moon, or maybe even like your chart ruler or something like that. Some kind of significant, maybe even like a conjunction or stellium or something like that. So August is eclipse season, and it is linked with you because your currently sign has the North Node in True Sky Aquarius still. It is nearing the beginning, so it won't be in your sign for much longer. However, definitely this month we do have that play with the nodes. So on the 12th of August, we will have the total solar eclipse and the new moon in True Sky Leo. And then nearing the end of the month, on around the 27th to the 28th of August, will be the partial lunar eclipse, full moon in True Sky Aquarius. So, and at the moment it's around 5 degrees. Also, it depends what system we're looking at in the true sky. It is around that 3-degree mark. So the core themes around the total solar eclipse and new moon are around releasing pride, stopping the need for constant external applause, and resetting your core creative identity. And for the full moon, the tension point is around individual self-expression and collective responsibility, group belonging versus individual sovereignty. We do also have that ongoing trine between Pluto and Uranus this month, with Pluto in True Sky Capricorn and Uranus in True Sky Taurus. And then also this month we do have Venus in True Sky Virgo. And also it's forming a grand trine with that Uranus-Pluto trine. So Venus will be trining Uranus and Pluto this month. And it's happening at the moment, and also around the 8-8 Lionsgate portal. We still also have some retrogrades as well. So we have Saturn retrograde until December the 10th, Neptune retrograde until December the 12th, and Pluto retrograde until around the 16th of October. So it is quite a powerful month having that eclipse season here. It's the eclipse season, at least this half of the eclipse, because it is, the South Node is in True Sky Leo. And at the moment it is conjoined Regulus. So we do have quite a significant star system that it is interacting with. So very interesting energies, and it's going to be hitting on that point for a little bit longer throughout the ending of the year. And, it is that point that is linked to, in ancient times linked to kings and rulers and things like that. So it is quite interesting with that South Node on Regulus in Leo currently. And I think being an Aquarian or having significant Aquarius placements, even if it's not conjoining your Aquarius placements, so maybe your placements aren't near where the nodes are right now, I do still think it will be quite a significant time for you. The first deck I have here for you is the Tarot of the Sorceress, and on the bottom of the deck we have the 8 of Air. So that's the underlying energies for you for the month. So there could be some kind of underlying energy around self-limitation and feeling quite paralyzed. The first card that you have, however, is the Ten of Air. So far we already have 2 air cards, which is interesting considering this is Aquarius's reading, and you are an air sign, even though you have the water urn, you know, the water bearer. So the Ten of Air is similar to your Ten of Swords. So it does indicate that there has been some kind of painful ending here. Something you've been working quite hard on, and it's actually quite devastating. Something has not worked out right, but it wasn't meant to. So ultimately, you know, it's good to, even if it is painful, something you've been working on, and it may feel like a real defeat, you know, there's a reason why this hasn't worked out. Then you have your crowning card, the Two of Water. So to me, this is saying that there may even have been an emotional connection to this situation that hasn't worked out. It could even be a love situation, perhaps a new love situation, but it could also be a past one as well. Then you have the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is linked to the inner journey, and that there is a need for some kind of sacrifice. Something needs to be let go. And I feel that it is this thing that has not worked out. So there's some kind of divine plan here. Something hasn't worked out and it needs to be let go of. And you really need to focus on your emotional, even investing in yourself emotionally at this time could be really beneficial here, because it obviously is quite a jarring experience to lose something that you have been working on. And obviously everyone's situation is different as well. The next card we have is the Ten of Earth. So this is a really positive card. And it's funny how we've got the Ten of Air and then the Ten of Earth, however, and the Earth is beneath the air as well, which is a very magical kind of combination here. The Ten of Earth is more about material satisfaction. So at the moment, you actually can't really want more than you have. You actually are really satisfied on a material or resource level. So there's some kind of incoming funds or some kind of boon to your financial situation that is linked with this month. Then you have the Page of Air as your central card for the month, which could be you. Even if you are not, because the page is linked to often children, say up to like 18 years old, even if this is not you, as in you're not that young, it doesn't have to be. So it can just be that it's a young kind of attitude. So maybe you've got like a new intellectual, so the air is all to do with the intellectual and ideas. New ideas coming in, new intellectual developments, and also can also bring some kind of message, the Page of Air. So there may be something that you receive this month that actually is really important to know, or you might even have a message for someone else that's really important that you need to pass on. It may even be involving this Ten of Earth, this abundant material opportunity, but it also is linked to that Ten of Air as well. So maybe you could be the bearer of bad news in some sense. But also the next card is the Seven of Water, which is linked to kind of wishful thinking and illusions and delusions and being emotionally overloaded. And there's also a potential for temptations as well. So be aware of that, especially here, because it is linked to that Hanged Man, which is all about that sacrifice. So make sure that whatever it is you are sacrificing really is the right thing that you are doing here, because yes, it does kind of indicate that there is some kind of loss, and that there's an emotional collaboration. However, because of this Seven of Wands right near that Page of Air, to me is kind of, the Page of Air is even kind of looking towards that Seven of Water. So just be aware, of the reality of situations around you. And especially also because here we do have, the next card we have is the Eight of Fire, which is a lot of incoming energy. So, and this is here linked also with your Page of Air, obviously, and your 10 of Earth. So there's a lot of energy coming in, and it's got this material abundance aspect, this new intellectual, development, these new truths being spoken. And then also our Page of Air is also linked to that Hanged Man as well. So that is about the letting go. There's some need to sacrifice something here. And I would say it is these illusions and delusions to really look at, what is, and sort through the illusions. Then for the base of the matter, you have the Two of Air. So this month is also going to be really important for making decisions. There may even be an air of like indecisiveness, and I am feeling that here because we did have that, the illusion energy, and then that need for sacrifice, but then we also had that painful ending, and then there is that potential collaboration up there as well. So it is a bit all over the place here. Then you have the King of Water. So this could also be another emotional situation which could involve love or friendship. The watery king is a very empathic figure. So it could even be someone from one of the water signs, or with significant water house placements, or ruling water signs in their chart, like the planets. So, and they would be a mature individual. Don't have to be male, but I mean, it's the king, so traditionally it would be, but yeah, generally like over 30 age range, and they are bringing some kind of nourishment, some kind of empathic, caring energy to, but on that leadership masculine kind of side of it. And it's definitely interesting because they are linked with that Seven of Water. So whether they have a bit of illusions going on that you might need to be aware of as well, and maybe they can help you make some decisions. They are linked to that Two of Air as well, and the Page of Air. However, just be aware that the water signs, the negative side of that can be a bit like, especially the Neptune and the Pisces and those kind of signs, illusions and delusions can be like the negative traits when they're not maybe expressed very well or in balance. The next deck that I do have to clarify is the Under the Oak Tarot. And on the bottom of the deck, we do have the Hanged Man again. So that's twice you've had it. However, this is the underlying energy for the month here. So for the Hanged Man, to clarify the Eight of Air, to me that is suggesting that, yeah, there does need to be some kind of sacrifice this month. And it may even be that the sacrifice is around that self-limitation and that feeling of being paralyzed. Like you really need to try to clear that energy away from you. In fact, I'll use my little broom here to clear that energy on my end here, because to make a proper decision, like that base of the matter energy, and to see through these illusions and delusions around us, and also to really accept the ending of something and to really move on into a new chapter, you do need like clear thinking. You need like a clear mind. So yeah, hopefully that helped a little bit. The clarification for the Ten of Air, so that was that situation that has ended painfully. You have Judgment, which is quite a interesting clarifier. So there is some kind of spiritual, even divine sense of judgment here over this situation. So it really is out of your hands, you know, what is going on. So yeah, try to remember that. Obviously, you know, we all are kind of players in, you know, a bigger game. We can only do so much. And then you have, for the Two of Water, you have the Four of Cups here. So the Two of Water was about this new, you know, emotional situation that could involve like love or friendship. And the Four of Cups is more of a, it's more not being very content with things. So if there is some kind of new love offer coming in, or some kind of nourishment, I don't think you really want it. I'm not sure if this is a past situation, like someone trying to come back, or if this is a new situation. But as far as I see here, it doesn't really interest you. You know, you've really, you know, basically moved on. And even though in the picture I'm not seeing her moving on, she's just sitting still. I feel like it's more on that mental, spiritual level. And this is that crowning card. So the top three cards are to do with the chakras, the top three chakras. So you've got your crown, your third eye, and your throat. And then to clarify the Hanged Man, we have the Fool. So once this sacrifice is made, this change, this clearing out period, there is a new journey beginning for you. So this month will be really crucial. There's definitely a new cycle, which it makes sense because having the North Node in your sign is a very karmic, dharmic type of energy to have. You know, it really is, it puts you through a lot, and really does help you see, you know, what, you know, does work and what doesn't work in your life, and helps you to like re-examine what it is you're doing with your energy and your time and your life. So yeah, definitely there is a new beginning this month. Then for the Ten of Earth, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So this abundance, this material satisfaction is linked to something you've been working on for a long time. There's actually a lot of hard work here at play. It could be some kind of study or apprenticeship, or some like a job or something like that that you have been working on, or even a hobby. But yeah, there's definitely, you've been working on this. It's not like this windfall of money or whatever is just come from nothing. There's definitely hard work involved here, and you have almost completed it as well. And then for the Page of Air, so this was the new ideas coming in. Could be a child, so they could be of the air signs or air houses or significant ruling air planets in their chart. They would be of that, you know, child up to 18 years, but it could be you. So just that you are in a new stage of your development on, like in a mental, intellectual level, so new ideas and things like that. You have the Five of Pentacles. So interesting combination. To me, this is saying that yeah, there is quite a bit of hard work here, and maybe you might even want to, or you might not be able to. There might be some kind of financial lack here. So the Five of Pentacles traditionally is that card of scarcity and even poverty, even if it is just temporarily. So even if it's just this month, you might even find that, it's funny because we did have that Ten of Earth, so I doubt it's going to be like complete poverty. If it is, let me know. But we do have the 10 and the 8 of Earth as well, so they are very abundant cards. Here it seems to be maybe more so to do with these new ideas. It could be that you really struggling with these new ideas. Like maybe you have them, but you're finding they're very limited, or they're not getting the results that you would like. There's some kind of limiting energy here linked to that page of air. And yeah, it could be a child as well, and that you might be financially struggling even with them, like to care for them or something like that. But yeah, that energy is there as well in this center, so it's touching every other card here. Then we have, for the Seven of Water, you have the Temperance card. So that's actually a really lovely card, I think, to have here for that Seven of Water. So that was the card about the illusions and delusions and like lots of choices and emotionally, maybe even being attracted to choices that maybe aren't very realistic. There's a bit of that like dreamy energy, wishful thinking, that kind of thing. Having temperance is actually very protective, so it does bring a sense of peace and calm and balance with it, but it's definitely trying to remind you that moderation is the key. Balance is really important. So obviously, depending on what ideas it is or emotional states you are using or working with here or choosing, just be aware that maybe don't, throw yourself completely in one direction, because this is also linked to that Five of Pentacles right next to it too, with the Page of Air. So because obviously, I don't want you to lose. If it is saying you're going to lose money, I don't know, but you do have that Five of Pentacles there. But yeah, just be careful of that wishful thinking. And the Temperance is definitely saying, yeah, balance your energies, don't be too extreme about things. Then for the Eight of Fire, which was all that energy coming in, you have the Three of Pentacles, which is quite nice too. So the Three of Pentacles is about something you've been working on. It's a relatively new energy though, like a newer project. It's not something you've been working on for a long time. However, it is something that you have reached new levels of understanding with. It can mean even a sense of a period of study as well, coming in here as well. Some kind of self-mastery, and it can also be linked to you collaborating with others on ideas around something that you've been working on, kind of joining forces to make something more successful. Then for the Two of Air as your base of the Matter card here, you have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is a very nostalgic energy, and I'm not really sure if it's going to help you here. It could definitely help you with this decision making. So the Two of Air was all about, balancing your decision making skills, because it's a bit of a fence sitting kind of card. It's a card linked to potential indecisiveness. And there may be some really important decisions you need to make this month. Already we had that card around the, lots of choices and wishful thinking and that kind of thing, and potential illusions and delusions. And then now we have that card of potential indecision. The Six of Cups is very nostalgic. So it's linked to the past, and often a past that's quite charming and sweet. It's like good memories. It can be linked to a past life or past lives, and it can even be linked to like a past time in your life, like potentially childhood or early life or periods in your early life. So it could be quite a kind of whimsical, dreamy month for you, having that Seven of Water and also that Six of Cups next to your main card. Then for the King of Water, you have the Star. So quite interesting. The Star is the card of like wishes and hopes and dreams and things like that. And it does link also to Aquarius. It's your card. So it is quite nice that we're finishing these main cards here with your card. You are here, you're represented, And you're linked to this King of Water. So maybe it is you that is learning these emotional leadership skills this month, these empathic, compassionate type of energies. You're really manifesting them into your life. Maybe there's people in your life that really need that character at the moment, and that you are kind of hoping and wishing to be able to do that for them. So that's quite interesting. And the fact that also it's near the end of the month that the full moon is in your sign, and the eclipse, the eclipse at the end of the month, the lunar eclipse, because the North Node is in Aquarius. So the bottom cards are more so to do with the bottom chakras, so the base and the sacral and the solar plexus, and then the middle three cards are more like the solar plexus and the heart and the throat. So that's the main deck. The next cards I have for you are the Mists of Avalon Oracle. And on the bottom of the deck, we actually have we have Caradwen. And her energies are around inspiration, creativity, rebirth, and transformation. Your crowning card is Chalice Hill, which has the energies of faith, wellness, yin and yang, and balance. And that's for the Two of Water with the Four of Cups. So these are two very watery cards here in your crown. So it could be quite an emotional month for you. And then if you do add the 2 and the 4, you get that 6 of Cups again. So we had the 6 of Cups here at the base. So yeah, it could be quite a nostalgic month for you. Then the central card is Nimue, and her energies are around respect, self-esteem, opportunity, and confidence. So, wow. And that's for the Page of Air with that 5 of Pentacles. Some kind of opportunity. And I mean, the 5 of Pentacles does have... So the 5 of Pentacles might have this energy of scarcity and lack, but it's normally within your situation. And the advice is to look outside of yourself, because nature is abundant and society is abundant, and, there's abundance around us always. So to, really look to your community, look to, other people, or even things within your world that can help you at this time. And maybe even this Page of Air will really help in that too, because the Page of Air is quite innocent and curious about things. And then the base of the matter is the Mists of Avalon, which has the energy around illusions, transformation, boundary, and enchantment. Okay, so we have that illusionary energy coming up again too. The Mists of Avalon. Enchantment. Boundary and transformation. And this was for that 2 of Air, which is all about the decision making, with the 6 of Cups, which is that nostalgic type of energy. The next cards I have for you are the Shaman Oracle. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Ancestor of Protection for you. So it's linked to strength, guardianship, fearlessness, the ability to help others, the feeling of protectedness, one who walks at your side in time of need. So that's the underlying energy, and that is linked to that Caradwen. The first card is the Hunter of Mysteries. So that was for Chalice Hill. The central card is the Shaman of Sorrows. That is linked to Nimue. And then the base of the matter is the Journeyer. for the Mist of Avalon. So it's quite a journey this month as well. So far, it seems more like an inner journey. I haven't seen many travel cards come up. We've had the Hanged Man energies a bit, and yeah, the journey, though, could mean that there is a journey. So the Hunter of Mysteries is this one, the Crowning card. So it's linked with inner truth, deep awareness, change, restoration, inner power, access to spirit, engaging with energy, perception renewed, connection to all life, and spiritual alliances. That was for the Chalice Hill, for the Crowning card. And then the central card is the Shaman of Sorrows, which is linked to restoration of hope, finding balance, acceptance, acknowledging the place of sorrow in life, hopeful memory, transcending sorrowful thoughts, resignation and mourning. And then the base of the matter is the Journeyer. So the Journeyer is like the companion on your quest, and they have the wisdom from the other worlds, and they also return with wisdom from spirits as well. I am the Journeyer. I accompany you on every journey you take in search of answers. I fly into the realm of spirit and encounter the beings who dwell there, the ancestors of all people and the guardians of our inherited wisdom and knowledge. I am the one who conducts you between the worlds, through the caves of inspiration, taking you on journeys to find guidance for all that you seek. Often I'm silent, but when requested, I can bring my wide knowledge of journeying to bear on your question. Yeah, okay, so this is like a helpful spirit, the Journeyer, which is interesting because there is a bit of, that illusionary energy, and, there's a hard decision you need to make. There's this loss and this sorrow. There's a new journey coming, though, but there's some kind of sacrifice there's something that has to, leave before something else can take its place. Okay, so the next deck I have for you is the Ancestral Oracle of the Celts. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Restorer. So in the work of restoration, remember the shape and nature of what needs to come back again, so that you can receive it gently. If you have erred, then make your peace. Apologize, return what was taken, or bow your head in token of what has passed. I turn the key of time in time's wheel so that everything can be reborn into eternity. Wow. That was the base of the matter. And then and that was also linked with this ancestor of protection. Then for the crowning card, you have the Gilly. Central card, you have the Prince. Base of the matter, you have the Prophet. So the crowning card is the Gilly. By small increments and successive attempts, you can make your way forward here. Whatever your service, offer your skills and goodwill, and without hope of return, your true worth will finally become known. I find success by service when everyone else has given up hope. Something very Aquarian about that card, actually. Helping others, and Aquarius has that humanitarian spirit attached to it. And then the Prince. It is time to undergo the tests that put your aptitudes to task. Examinations, trials, interviews, or the grind of studying are the only way forward. If you love what you do, the outcome will be self-evidently successful. I make the heritage and well-being of the land my chief study. So that's the central card. And then the base of the matter is the Prophet. The patterns that you have set in progress are currently working out through the present time. Although you may not remember their seeding, think not of fate or curse, but rather perceive the destiny that is the potential of your gifts and the service that you were born to offer. I foresee the images hidden within the greater pattern and how they were seeded in the past. And that's linked to the journeyer. The next deck that I have for you, Aquarius, is the Moon Witch Oracle. And on the bottom of the deck, we have spells and rituals. Bring magic and self-care together. So that's quite lovely. And then the first card you have is Witch's Hat. Express yourself and share your gifts with the world. Central card is New Moon, fresh start, new beginnings. And then we have for the base of the matter, Isis, cast spells, protect, heal. And it has that scorpion in the center. So if any of you have some Scorpio placements, that could be resonant too. So these are the cards that I do have for you for the month of August, Aquarius. And I do think it's going to be a bit of an intense month for you, mostly because it is Leo's month. And, you know, the Leo, the sun is very strengthened in the sign of Leo. Obviously, Leo is ruled by the sun. So when there is that solar transit through the sign of Leo, you know, it's quite a powerful time. However, Leo is also your opposite sign. So it would kind of polarize you and challenge you on levels, which is okay because we all learn from each other. However, because it's also eclipse season, I would say, you know, because it's the North Node that's in Aquarius right now, doesn't mean that it's all dharmic energy, but I would say it's more than karmic. Like there is a karmic element with the North Node, but you know, it's more, the North Node is generally more what you're meant to be striving towards and what you're meant to be, you know, trying to achieve. So, you know, these Aquarian energies are very kind of protected and sought after at the moment. So, you know, I think by being yourself, it's a good thing. And, you know, expressing, like it said at the top there, express yourself, share your gifts with the world, because, you know, the world is very resonant with the Aquarian energies at the moment. So if you do naturally have that, you can be a bit of a channeler, you know, to bring those energies, you know, down to humanity. And then obviously with the Leo and the South Node, that's kind of more the past energies. Doesn't mean it's all bad, because, you know, obviously there's positive things that would have happened in the past as well. And negative things can happen in the future. So it's not, you know, black and white, but then it is black and white as well, you know. So I guess it's all. But yeah, I wish you a fantastic month ahead, Aquarius. And if you made it this far and you got anything out of the reading, like even if you just found it entertaining or interesting, or you resonated with it even if you just resonated in certain parts of the reading, because it's not going to resonate all of it for everyone. Obviously, it is a general reading, so take what resonates and just leave the rest for those that need to hear that. But yeah, if you could comment if you've got anything interesting to say around the reading. I love to read all the comments that I get, and really grateful for all the likes and comments and subscribes that I've gotten so far. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed, it would be amazing if you could. And if you have, thank you for subscribing and for returning. But yeah, take care and have a great month. Bye.